Today we are going to be looking at hourly and salary pay. So let's look at some definitions and vocabulary first. Those who work for others are called employees. The person or company an employee works for is called an employer. An employee who is paid by the hour works for an hourly rate. The amount of money that an employee is paid is called gross pay, and you can also see it being referred to as total earnings or total pay. So let's look at the formula for gross pay. We are going to take the hourly rate, how much they're paid per hour, and multiply it by the number of hours they worked. So now let's look at some examples. Mark works as a customer service representative and is paid $9.10 per hour. He worked 38 hours last week, and we have to find his gross pay. So we are going to take the amount of money he's paid per hour, so $9.10, and multiply it by the number of hours he worked, which is 38. So 9.10 times 38 gives us $345.80. Since we have the basics of multiplying with decimals, we can use our calculators now to solve these problems. Let's look at the next problem. Kenny worked as a shopping mall security guard and is paid $7.50 per hour. Find his gross pay when he works 46 hours a week. So we're going to take his hourly pay, $7.50, and multiply it by the number of hours he worked, 46. When we multiply this, we get $345. Go on and pause this video and work on the next question, and then come back and check your work. Okay, let's check the next one. Cassie earns $16.25 an hour. What gross wage did she earn last week by working 25 hours? So take the hourly rate, $16.25, and multiply it by 25 hours. When you do this, you should get $406.25. Don't forget your dollar sign. Okay, the next one. Sharon is paid $7 an hour. Last week, she worked 8 hours a day for 5 days. Find her gross pay last week. So we need to figure out how many hours she worked, so the total hours. So she worked 8 hours a day for 5 days. So we're going to do 8 and multiply it by 5. So it was 8 hours each day for 5 days. So when we multiply that, we get 40 hours. Now we can take our gross pay or hourly rate and multiply it by our total hours to get our gross pay. We're going to take $7, multiply it by 40 hours. And when we do that, we get $280. Go on and try the next one. Okay, let's check the next one. Rosa works 8 hours Monday through Friday as a legal assistant. Her hourly wage is $18.75. Find how many hours she worked in 1 week and her gross pay for that week. So we first need to figure out her total hours she worked. So it says she works 8 hours Monday through Friday. So 8 hours per day, so we're going to take 8 and multiply it by the number of days. Monday through Friday is 5 days. So we're going to do 8 times 5. That is 40 hours she worked. Now let's find her gross pay. We're going to take the hourly wage, $18.75, and multiply by the total hours. So multiply by 40. When we multiply this out, she gets $750. Okay, the next one. Vincent worked the following schedule 1 week. Monday for 8 hours, Tuesday for 6, Wednesday for 7 hours, Thursday for 6, and Friday for 5 hours. He was paid $9 an hour. We need to figure out how many hours he worked and what his gross pay was. So let's find the total hours. So we're going to add up each hours for each day he worked. So Monday was 8, Tuesday was 6, Wednesday was 7, Thursday was 6, and Friday was 5. When we add all that up, we get 32 hours. Now we're going to take his hourly rate, which is $9, and multiply it by our 32 hours. When we multiply that out, we should get $288. Okay, let's look at a different type of gross pay. So some employees are paid a salary, which is a fixed amount of money each time period that they've worked, such as days, weeks, months, or years, just however their salary is calculated. To find the gross pay, you're going to take the pay per time period and multiply it by the number of time periods that they worked. So some key things we need to know. 1 year is going to be equal to 12 months. Then 1 year in weeks is 52. And then there's 365 days in a year. So you're going to need to know these calculations for a lot of our problems this year. So let's look at some examples. Albert is paid a salary of $465 a week. How much gross pay does he receive for 4 weeks of work? So his salary is per week. So we're going to take as much as he gets paid per week and multiply by the number of weeks that he worked. So we're going to take 465 and multiply it by 4 weeks. When we multiply this out, we get $1,860. Go on and try the next problem. Okay, let's check it. Teak Research pays its office managers a weekly salary of $680. What gross pay will the office manager receive every 2 weeks? So his salary is weekly. So we need to know how much after 2 weeks of his salary. So we're going to take their amount, $680, and we are going to multiply it by the 2 pay periods, so 2 weeks. So $680 times 2 gives us $1,360. The last problem we're going to look at today says Tom works as a dispatcher and is paid a weekly salary of $540. What gross pay will Tom earn for 1 year of his work? So we need to figure out how many weeks are in a year? And there is 52 weeks in 1 year. So we're going to take his weekly salary of $540 and multiply it by 52 weeks. And when we do that, we'll get the salary of $28,080. So that is the lesson on hourly and salary pay. Please reach out if you have any questions.